Hello there and welcome back to another edition of the Hot Lap Classic Remastered. This time I take a look at the 1997 Subaru Impreza WRX STI Wagon version 4. Our final version 4 to take on the course, and it is the Wagon. And to celebrate the occasion I thought, sod it, I'll run the race mod on this one. Even though it's not the best of the STI wagons and the version 5 would probably be more suitable, sod it, we'll run it on the version 4 because we haven't had a version 4 with race mod, and the version 4 comes in the most boring colours, so it was going to be white anyway, so I figured I'd run the race mod. There is one of two options on the 97 to 99 Imprezas. This is one of them, and the other's the Falcon livery. I was going to go for that, but for some reason, at least on the version 4, I'm not sure if it's the same for the other Impreza wagons, the sort of spotlight covers, the fog light covers, don't change colour, so they were white, which looks very odd, so I went for this livery, which I think I also used on the version 5 sedan, which is actually, to be honest with you, as much as I like the Falcon livery, this one's probably my favourite. I mean, it's my colours, I can't not dislike it. Anyways, it's going to be nice to drive a car that actually doesn't have a dodgy gearbox or anything weird going on, or at least I hope it doesn't. Four-wheel drive, 436 horsepower, 1,135 kilos of weight. This car is going to get 6 laps of the Motorsports lined up track in order to set the best time it possibly can. Our current leader is the Audi TT LM Edition. That car set a time of 26.690. This car is unlikely to beat that. Immediately starting off with a sick drift. In terms of where this is gonna go, the Subaru Impreza WRX STI Wagon version 5 set a time of 28.9. The version 3, which had race mod, the version 5 did not. That set a time of a 29.1. So I would say without race mod, this is probably, because the version 4s are not only the weakest Impreza in terms of sort of styling, with its weird greater grille on the front, and you know, sort of lack of interesting race mod or anything like that. The version 4s are also probably the weakest Imprezas to drive, just because they're very, they have the later 97, 99 handling package, if you will, as I'm going to call it, which basically means instead of sort of being fun slidey machines, they're more understeery and you know what you're gonna get, but they're pretty rigid to drive, unlike something like Evos, which are flamboyant and that allows for more fun. 29.075. That is actually probably where I was gonna say this would go. Oh, there's a little bit more time in it though, at least for that section. So yeah, these ones usually aren't my favourite of the Imprezas, but well, they're actually my least favourite in the game, but I mean, it's an Impreza, so I still love it. I think if you used to make a tier list of best cars in racing games, Impreza's 28.923. I think that just hits the version 5, actually, which is interesting. But anyways, I think if you used to make a tier list of cars in racing games, actually, no, it doesn't. It's slightly slow. The Impreza would probably be close to the top for me, just because like common cars in racing games, not like just like the most wanted M3 GTR. You know, I think personally the Subaru Impreza would get my vote for the best racing game car, because it's always just sort of, it's in every racing game. They're always good to drive. They're always nicely tunable. You know, you can't really do wrong with an Impreza. You can go rally racing. You could do all sorts. I think the Impreza is the greatest video game car. That would be my vote, although I'm sure many of you would probably say the M3 GTR from Most Wanted, or the M3 GTR from Need for Speed Carbon, or the M3 GTR from Need for Speed Heat. I should remember because it's the only recent Need for Speed game that's actually been decent. Anyways, yeah, good car, good time. Apparently could have gone very slightly quicker, according to that. So that is interesting. It was all made up in that first sector. Interesting. A 28.923 will place this into 55th place. Interestingly enough, it beats the Subaru Impreza rally car of this generation by 1,000th of a second, which is interesting. It is 1,000th of a second slower than Subaru Castrol GT500. It is very slightly slower than the Wagon version 5, which wasn't running race mod, and to be honest with you, if it was, that gap would be significantly increased. But other than that, I mean, it's quicker than a bunch of other Imprezas. I'm trying to find... It is... Okay, so it is 0.3 quicker than the Impreza WRX STI sedan version 4. Admittedly, that wasn't running race mod, and I think if it was, the gap would probably be a lot closer. And it is about 0.3 down on the version 4 coupe, so it's the second best version 4, apparently. Even though it isn't really, but we'll go with it. Why not? Anyways, that is it for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching. Join me next time when I'll be driving something completely different. Until then, farewell.